Hi, I'm Monty Carter for ZDeploy. Today, I'm going to talk about Windows 7 XP Mode, MedV, and Windows Virtual PC. I'll give a brief overview of these technologies and then discuss the pros and cons of real-world use. XP Mode for Windows 7 and MedV are new options that offer the ability to run applications that aren't compatible with Windows 7 in a virtual machine running on a Windows Virtual PC. These applications can be configured to be integrated with the regular Windows 7 interface, so the experience for the end user is the same as any other application that is installed in the normal fashion. MedV is the enterprise level equivalent to XP Mode. It offers the same basic functionality of XP Mode, but adds enterprise level management features such as policy and group-based provisioning, automated resource-based configuration, and centralized management configuration and monitoring of these virtual machines. Both Windows 7 XP Mode and MedV utilize an optional component, Windows Virtual PC, to provide virtual machine hosting functionality. XP Mode is designed primarily for small and medium-sized businesses and is only available on Professional, Enterprise, and Ultimate editions of Windows 7. With the license of these Windows 7 edition comes a license to run Windows XP as a virtual machine. It is a nice incentive to move to Windows 7 for small and medium-sized companies that don't have the resources to upgrade or redevelop incompatible applications or provide enterprise-level management of VMs using Microsoft's MedV. There is a lot of information available on the web detailing what XP Mode and MedV are and what it does, so I don't want to go into any further detail on those. What I would like to cover, however, are considerations for real-world usage of XP Mode and MedV, their strengths and their limitations. One of the first things that you need to consider are system requirements. To utilize Windows Virtual PC on Windows 7, your computers must have processors capable of hardware-assisted virtualization, such as Intel processors with Intel VT technology. Without this capability, Windows Virtual PC cannot be used at all. If you are replacing computers as you move to Windows 7 and would like to keep the option of XP Mode or MedV open, make sure that your new hardware is capable of hardware-assisted virtualization. If your existing fleet is capable of running Windows 7 or you will be upgrading your existing fleet, Microsoft has provided a tool called Hardware-Assisted Virtualization Detection Tool, or HAV Detection Tool, to determine if your computer is capable of providing hardware-assisted virtualization. In addition to hardware-assisted virtualization, there is also an increased memory and disk requirement. Because XP Mode and MedV are based on Windows Virtual PC technology, you will need to allocate dedicated memory and disk space for the virtualized XP machine. Plan on providing at least 15 gigabytes of local disk space per VM and having at least 2 gigabytes of memory available on your systems. Possibly more for demanding applications or if you will be running more than one virtual machine. After hearing the hardware requirements, one of the next things to consider is management. XP Mode and MedV are little more than a regular virtual machine running on your Windows 7 workstations. Like any other virtual machine, these VMs are full discrete computers requiring management like any other workstation. These VMs will need patching and antivirus protection and licensing and any other services and maintenance you provide to your normal workstation fleet. This is a big consideration. For every workstation in your environment that utilizes XP Mode or MedV, you won't have to provide OS licensing, but you will need to provide licensing and management for any antivirus, anti-spyware, desktop management, or similar software. Hardware support is another big consideration. Applications that extensively utilize the graphics card, for example, will have limited support in XP Mode because a virtualized graphics card can't provide the capabilities of a native physical graphics card. Additionally, devices using a parallel, serial, or even a USB connection and internal devices may have little or no support. Another thing to think about is OS architecture. Windows 7 XP Mode is only available in 32-bit. For companies using 64-bit software, Windows 7 XP Mode isn't an option. Large enterprises utilizing Microsoft's MedV can provide support for 64-bit XP, but this is only an option for companies with enough IT resources to provide the complex MedV solution. Another thing to consider is long-term application support in your organization. Even with XP Mode or MedV, Microsoft extended support for Windows XP will end in 2014. I would be surprised if the next major release of Windows will include any sort of XP Mode. And in this case, how will you handle your incompatible software? XP Mode or MedV may be viable as short-term solutions while waiting for compatible versions of third-party software to be released, but not as long-term solutions for providing line-of-business functionality through old incompatible software. It is a good idea to seriously consider moving to Windows 7 compatible versions of your applications. Further, if third-party software vendors won't be providing compatible releases or haven't yet provided compatible releases, it may be time to consider replacing it with a new compatible software that provides similar functionality. XP Mode or MedV may be better options for software that has been developed in-house, where you can't just replace incompatible software with a new solution off the shelf. However, in this case, you should still plan on only using XP Mode or MedV in the short term while you take the time to fix in-house solutions to be compatible with Windows 7 and future releases. You should really strive to provide all local applications as native Windows 7 apps. If you have the ability to provide a compatible solution for your applications at the same time you deploy Windows 7, I suggest you strongly consider it.